Business Process Analysis, a case study. What is BPA exactly? Business Process Analysis is a methodology for the analysis of a business to understand the processes and improve the efficiency of its operations. Business process improvement, while it doesn't really have a universally accepted definition, but it can be seen as an analysis, review, and improvement of the existing business processes, which is done by mapping out the business process, identifying efficiencies, inefficiencies, and redesigning the process and benchmarking to the initial metrics. We would be talking about a case study of app improvement of MCTEM, Ministry of Civil Defense and Emergency Management. It works in partnership with Auckland Council for coordinating the disaster situations. The Civil Defense is responsible for organizing hazard management through planning and prioritizing the hazard, creating awareness, and initiating joint action within the region. In this study, we would see the business process improvement has been undertaken with respect to three important stages. First, it would be eliciting the requirements of a business process and ranking the requirements on business value, priority, and effort. The next step would be designing a requirements repository using the templates and presenting the requirements using diagrams such as entity state diagrams. And the final stage would be building the prototype for the app. The business analyst then undertakes the business model canvas technique to require and does the customer value proposition. A customer value proposition is a business or marketing statement. Well, that describes why a customer should buy a product or use a service. It is specifically targeted towards the potential customers rather than other constituents groups such as employees, partners, or suppliers. Right at this point of time, the customer value proposition identifies three main goals like alert notification with voice call and without app, integrating the service of rescue team, and the voice call ability of the app. Stage was strategic planning by undertaking most analysis, which is a simple framework tool for analyzing or planning the detail of what an organization does. It helps to frame questions starting from the high-level mission of the organization and digging right down to the details of individual tactics. The MOST stands for mission, objective, strategy, and tactics. Mission identified is awareness, knowledge, and recovery. Objective was operative management, efficiency recovery, valuable support from the government, while the strategy was work with the local and central levels, stakeholder planning, and initiating recovery. And the 3 Ps for the tactics: prompt, proactive, and participate. The stakeholder analysis. A stakeholder analysis is an important technique for identifying and analyzing their needs. It is used to identify all the key stakeholders, whether it's primary or secondary, who have a vested interest in the issues with which the project is concerned. Right in this project, the stakeholders identified are the potential stakeholders of MCTEM, the customers, the partners, the suppliers, regulators, managers, and the employees. Stakeholders are then put under a power interest grid, which is a simple tool to categorize the stakeholders with increasing power and interest in the project. There could be strong supporters of your project who can just block them. So you need to identify who your stakeholders are and win them over as soon as possible. A RASCI chart is developed on the basis of the responsibility, accountability, support, consulted, and informed. A rescue matrix is a project management tool, which again kind of clarifies the roles and responsibilities of the different organization and the people in the complex structures. RESCI, it's kind of an acronym derived from the 5 criteria, which, as I said, is responsible, accountable, supporting, consulted, and informed. It's used for allocating and assigning responsibilities to the team members in projects. The letters RASCI is used in order to describe the level of responsibility. Business system investigation is done on the basis of some techniques for investigating the stakeholders. Well, it ensures a good track of everything so that it's recorded all in a relevant requirement and a business requirement document is made. To know the customer needs, various techniques are adopted like focus groups, document analysis, interface analysis, requirements workshop. These kind of workshops and the stakeholders interviews helps to understand how information flows between different divisions or departments and ensures that handover will be managed smoothly. Is analyzing the apps which were kind of competitors. So at this point of time, it has been identified as 3 apps: the Hazard Red Cross app, Hazard app, and Emergency Mobile Alert technology, which were already there. The business analyst proposes a solution to it with all the strengths and the weaknesses. The strengths identified are more efficiency, more alertness, the response time would be lowered, enabling showing the correct location, alert notifications set without the app. So that was the proposal by the business analyst. Designing the requirements repository by the templates and the present requirements has been done by the diagrams such as entity state diagrams, and that's the functional model. The UML activity diagram shows the dynamic aspect of the proposed system. The flowchart represents the activity of the proposed system, starting from receiving the signals from the meteorological department, forest department, and the various other departments, and then finally transmitting it and to the endpoint or to the user. It is then The business use case model is a scenario-based technique which lets us understand the whole system step by step. It helps to understand how the service would work. This is a good technique for gathering the functional requirements. A requirements catalog is made by the business analyst, which is a list of requirements through which a desired project goal is to be achieved. It is a structured and prioritized list of requirements for the system, and it has been identified as general requirements, technical requirements, functional requirements, and the non-functional requirements. Requirements are then catalogued under the basis of their specifications, and the business analyzes the requirements. Validating and prioritizing the requirements is done by review groups. Validation of the requirements are performed for ensuring the accuracy of the requirements documents. Well, on completion of the requirements document, the review group is formed. These kind of review group generally consist of the representatives from the key stakeholder group to validate the various aspects of the requirements. And they could be the business sponsors, they could be the MCDM owners, the fire departments, kind of the stakeholders, the primary stakeholders who are on a higher level of interest. Diagram is then made, which is a main building block of object-oriented modeling. It is used for general conceptual modeling of the structure of the application and for detailed modeling, translating the models into programming code. The class diagram can also be used for data modeling. the entity relationship diagram made, which describes interrelated things of interest in a specific domain of knowledge. A basic ER model is composed of entity types and specifies relationships that can exist between entities. The state machine. It describes different states of a component in a system. The states are specific to a component or an object of a system, where a state chart diagram describes kind of a state machine. State machine is defined kind of a machine which defines different states of an object, and these states are controlled by external or internal events. A prototype is made on the basis of the requirements, which is an early sample model or release of a product which is built to test the concept or the app. It is a term which is used in a variety of contexts, including semantics, design, electronics, and software programming. And it's generally used to evaluate the new design to enhance precision by system analysts and users. Business process analysis undertaken is to analyze the current processes and propose a simple and straightforward app which could be designed and implemented in a short time frame.